Piledriver podcast. Let's go. We from the O. You need to know. We got Mike Fitzatoni on the show. Piledriver. Piledriver podcast. It's the Piledriver podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back with another episode of the Piledriver. I'm the best in the world. On my left is the main man, Tony Forbes, and down below is downtown. I didn't even know that, so it makes sense. You went down below me is downtown Stabby Vince. What's going on, boys? How is everybody? How was everybody's weekend?
Good, man. Very good. Got a hang out at a little birthday party and 5-year-old birthday party, so that was cool.
Those are always fun. Those are always fun. Long weekend over here. OCW last night and Power Slam Pro Wrestling this morning. Stabby Vince was doing the adult thing and getting the, he was just doing the work thing. We all got to be adults every once in a while in life. And, so kudos to Vince for, hopping on with us, even though I know he's tired. He's probably got to work tomorrow. He's hanging out with the boys for a little bit. We got two big guests tonight in Ava Brooks and Peapod. Both will be joining the podcast a little bit later on. Peapod, one of the voices of NEOPro, one of our favorite promotions in the area, and Ava Brooks, the current AIWF Women's Champion. We're going to hear all about that just a little bit later on. Also going over RSW coming this weekend. And when Peapod gets on the show, we're definitely going to be talking about the NEOPro card. They have Remix on Friday as well. I do want to talk about OCW for a minute. Last night, I went down to Barberton, Ohio. Full circle moment for your boy. I started in this wrestling business, so to speak, with OCW. So getting the call to go work a booking for them was pretty freaking cool. And this venue was dope, bro. Barberton High School is where the show was. And Glenn Lane in the chat, shout out to Big Glenn Lane. Barberton High School is where the show was, right? And like above the ring in the middle of the gym, Tony, I don't know, their basketball team or something must be really, really good because they had Jumbotron.
And I saw those pics, dude. Yeah, it looked ridiculous.
So cool. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Like the wrestlers promo pics plastered on there. Brazzy in the chat, W on the shirt.
In the chat.
But yeah, they put the image up there, had the music coming down. Like it was just a sweet little venue. The VFW and Glenn, throw the number in there. I believe it's 1060. I could be wrong. But they were real cool. They put on a nice event for everybody in the ring. We had the retirement of the Green Hornet. We had fans in the ring for picture opportunities with the OCW Heavyweight Championship, which is currently vacant at this point. So we'll see what happens going forward with that. Big matches all around. Dontavio picking up the dub over Zay Garcia. Look, Jill said Mike has gone to the dark side because she doesn't have my shirt. It's a Brazzy Knuckles era, Jill. It's a Brazzy Knuckles era. Dontavio picked up a big. It's the FW 1066. I was close. I said 1060. I was close. So 1066 out there in Barberton. Big shout out to them for putting on a killer event last night. My only gripe. Here we go, boys. So I went to the concession stand at intermission time, and you know how we do. We like to try the food, and we want to talk about it. Okay, the event started at 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6. I got a hot dog and a piece of pizza. The piece of pizza was from Marco's. It was good. It's Marco's.
Right. It's Marco's.
The hot dog looked like they put it in the crock pot at noon. It was brown, leathery, like I didn't even eat it. Didn't even eat it.
Like, was that bad?
stage, and like I was like, I can't even like I touched it like I little poke, and it was just like kind of like half leathery, half mushy, like it had been soaking up in
hot dog flavored water, man.
Oh man.
one pretty sight, man. It was good. So yeah, threw the hot dog away. Thumbs down to Barberton, whoever was running that concession stand at the school for that, because it was no bueno.
Unfortunate.
Shelby picked up a big triple threat victory over Colton Quinn and the Professor Jacob Edwin. This dude you guys would love this gimmick. All right. He came out, he like a professor in college, telling it quiet in the classroom, the whole night. It was great. Loved the gimmick. Colton hit a big nasty swanton on both Shelby Wilder and Jacob Edwin, dude. That was nuts. It was a great match overall. Lots of action all around. Shelby Wilder had lots of fans in the crowd. There were Peaches inflatables. Kids had inflatables of Peaches, Vince. It was really cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
So yeah, if Shelby ended up picking up the W, Chuck the Truck Morris in the main event got a win over Sam Beal, which is a huge
that's dope as hell. Yeah.
Morris. Asher Knox getting the W over Cool Dude Andy, who I'm not. And maybe it's a PG friendly type thing. He will always be Cool Ass Andy to me.
Yeah.
Cool Dude Andy isn't a thing I could do.
Listen, the first time you showed up on that motorcycle at that lake show for OCW as Cool Ass Andy, that's forever.
That's what I said too. We had we were just talking about that. Me and the one dude last night, we're sitting outside and we're like, the first time I saw him, he comes riding in on the back of that motorcycle and he's Cool Ass Andy. And I'm like, he'll always be Cool Ass Andy. There's no cool dude Andy. I can't get into that. Tag team match, members only, picking up a W over the Saint Brothers. And I believe Pegasus picked up a win over Natalie May to become the #1 contender for the women's championship.
Okay.
So overall, pretty solid event. Shout out again to OCW and the BFW 1066 out in Barberton. My only complaint is your brown hot dogs. Vince almost spit out his water.
Yeah, you almost got
Worst to complain about.
My only complaint is
the show itself was great. Audio visual was great, top notch. Ring crew. Oh, and shout out to the football team. Shout out to the football team because they totally helped tear the ring down. We really didn't have to do anything.
Oh, cool.
There was freaking 30 of them, and they were just like,
Fuck
we're
yeah.
17 and have muscles. Like, kids. So that was a lot of fun. Again, shout out to Glenn Lane and the OCW. And then today at PPW, big events happening. Colt Johnson successfully defended his Ohio State championship against Gideon Hayes today. He wrestled against Gideon Hayes. And then Mike Michaels went on later on in the day to become the new #1 contender when he pinned Sebastian LaShawn in a triple threat match, along with Mr. Crowley, to become the new #1 contender against Colt Johnson.
Okay,
Wow.
so it's almost like coming back around there. Michael's trying to get that title again.
Mike Michaels trying to retain the title that he lost to Dio Salvador. We had Nolan Bates successfully defend against Mr. Sonny DeFarge. And Colton Quinn defeats Mr. Crummels to become the new #1 contender for the PPW Black Brand Heavyweight Championship.
Hell yeah.
So Colton Quinn put in double duty this weekend. He was at OCW and then as well as Power Set this morning. Not scoring the win on Saturday night, but definitely scoring big and becoming that new #1 contender.
He's been making a lot of rounds lately. I love to see it. Colton Quinn's one of those guys that when you see him on the card, you're always looking forward to those matches. So just shout out Colton, man. Keep it up.
Yep, I'm also going to shout out Colton today because when I saw him today, he walked in wearing a hoodie. It was a good one.
Gang, gang.
It was a good one. That's the boy supporting the pod. So you need some podcast merchandise. We got a little. I forgot to put it up. Look, thanks.
Oh yeah,
There's the link.
So they
Buy
changed
shirts,
everything.
buy hoodies. Buy yourself a sweet hat. Yeah, they changed everything.
Yes.
You buy yourself a sweet hat like Tony's rocking right now.
Sweet
But
as
yeah,
fuck.
it was all in all such a great weekend. We got big weekend coming up this weekend with NEOPro and RXW both in town. But first, we are going to get our first guest in here. We are going to be joined by the youngest AIWF women's champion in history. She just recently won that title. We're going to see what she's got going on, what her plans are, and ultimately what she's looking to accomplish this year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Piledriver podcast, Miss Ava Brooks.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
So, how does it feel? Right off the rip, how does it feel? Youngest AIWF women's champion in history. How does that feel?
It's honestly probably the craziest feeling that I've had in wrestling so far, mainly for the simple fact of whenever the match was first brought to me, I was 100% ready to go down there and lose to her. Like, that's originally what the plan was. And then a couple of days later, it had changed. And I was like, I've never been somebody who was, I made a post about this on Facebook. I haven't been somebody who's really driven myself on going for championships or like saying, oh, I need a championship, because belts to me are, they either put it on you for two reasons. One, to help you build your brand, or two is to help bring meaning to the belt, so there's more meaning for it whenever the storyline continues and it moves on to the next person. So whenever they were like, yeah, we want you to beat Clara and win this belt, I remember I ran downstairs and I told my mom, and I always was like, whenever I win my first belt, I'm not going to tell my parents. But it was just so random that I went and told my mom. She was the first person to find out. And it was just mind-boggling to me that because I'm only 8 months in, because I had to train for 2 years. I started at 16, debuted on my 18th birthday. So,
that's awesome.
So it's like I didn't feel. I was really nervous about it because I never know how the other person's gonna feel, especially when it's like, oh, this girl's only 8 months in, only has so many matches, and she's coming in and she's taking this belt and she's gonna be not only just taking it, but making history as the youngest. It's like
it could rub people the wrong way. No, I get it, 100%.
Right.
It doesn't take away from it though, because clearly, if they would put you in that position, somebody believed in you that you're able to carry this take that moniker. Yeah. Because, like you said, your name is in these history books forever. Yeah. Until somebody younger than you takes it. Now, how old are you? 18 years old, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I read. I didn't know if anything. I couldn't find a birthday, so last I heard she was 18 years old. I'm like, won the title at 18. That's kind of
you gotta.
We know a similar story. Didn't win a title at 18, but we know a similar wrestler who started at 18. He's doing pretty well for himself these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Ava Brooks, big opportunities for you in 2025. AIWF is located mainly out of North Carolina, correct?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And I thought they had some shows in Virginia as well.
Yeah, they have. So, if I remember correctly, I think we have 150 promotions over 49 countries. So there's multiple women's belts, but this is our world belt. So I can defend it anywhere, which is why I'm trying to get my passport, because they want me in Canada. They want to line stuff up in the UK, and we're not sure how long we want to have the belt on me. So we're trying to get as many defenses possible under the belt to push it, because when Clara had the belt, I was talking to her about it, and she was like, I haven't defended this belt once, and she had it for 15 months. So
Wow.
it kind
Oh
of
wow.
so it's kind of like I didn't even know that they had a world belt. So I didn't want it to constantly not be talked about, which is why on my Instagram, people are probably going to get so annoyed and probably think I have the biggest head ever because almost every single one of my posts in the last week has been me with this belt. But it brings
That's the idea, though. That's the
I've
point.
gotten so much attention with the belt, and people are starting to talk about it. Even like podcasts reaching out. Like I had a list. Yeah, so I had a list of podcasts, and there's only probably one date that I have left to take a podcast for the rest of the month of March. So I'm going to be talking about this almost every single day. So being able to get the networking for this, I'm hoping by the end of it, whoever ends up taking it from me can have the same thing, and it'll be looked at as a positive thing, not, oh, it's just somebody else, like somebody else is just taking the belt. It is what it is.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be you put some reputation on this title. You've defended it, umpteen number of times. You were a fighting champion. Whoever takes it from you has to, put in that work to take it. It's not just going to be handed to them.
Well, it's going to mean a lot more when that, take happens for that next person coming up, for sure.
Yeah, you build it to a prestigious level.
Right.
Now, who were some of your influences getting into wrestling? What made you want to be a wrestler?
So, I think I tell the story on every single podcast, but I feel like most of the people that I've either trained with or that I've talked to, they've always grown up on watching WWE. So I grew up with it on in my house, but I never really sat down and watched it. So for me, my brother, I forget how old he's going to turn, 14, I think. He's getting old. But he grew up on wrestling. He knows way more about it than I think I probably ever will, and I'm the wrestler, so that's kind of bad. But he's that's his thing. I didn't really start getting into wrestling until I ended up breaking my hand during amateur wrestling, and we started going to indie shows. And then we went to IWC, and I can't remember who she was facing. I want to say it was Ray Lynn, but it was Katie Arquette. And I remember just being so drawn into that match, being on the edge of my seat, not knowing what was going to happen next. And in that moment, I was like, I want to be able to make people feel the same way that I'm feeling right now. I want to be able to move in the ring like she does, have that rhythm to where people are interested in the match. Because I feel like a lot of times, and I hate when people say this, they're like, oh, it's a women's match, bathroom break. And I don't want that. I want them to be like, no, this is a match that we don't want to miss. So I feel like women's wrestling is definitely at the highest point that it's been in a very long time, maybe ever. And there's enough of us, but there's still not a lot of us. So being able to bring attention to a women's division as a whole is another reason why I wanted to do it, because it was kind of what I was doing with amateur wrestling. Amateur wrestling, we have a sanctioned females wrestling section now. Whenever I was amateur wrestling, we didn't have that. But now they have their own state tournament that just happened over this past weekend. And it's really cool to see the development of that.
Autumn in the chat saying we need more women who bring the heat and excitement. And I couldn't agree more. We've seen you before at RSW, that out in West Virginia was, that was the time Vince and I were able to see you. You were in a fire-ass four-way match. Yeah. So we weren't able to see the full capabilities. But hopefully sometime we will get to see you up more in this area. We, as you know, we're based out of Cleveland. So, up this area definitely. It's funny that you mentioned Katie. I just saw her last night. She was at OCW last night. We love Katie Arquette, Derek Dillinger.
Yeah.
We followed them for a long time. They're big. They come to Mega all the time.
Great.
Katie's amazing. Yeah, Katie's amazing.
Yeah,
Katie's awesome.
I would say Katie and Derek are probably two of the most helpful people that I know in wrestling. If I have a question, I know that I can go to them and I'll be like, does this suck? And I know that they'll be 100% honest with me, but they'll also lead you in the direction that you need to go. And as long as they can see that you're putting in the work and you have the passion for it, they're willing to help almost anybody.
No, I agree 110%. And they, like you said, they'll tell you, hey, this is where you messed up, but this is how you should make it better. This is a good way for you to fix it, to adjust accordingly, so to speak.
Yeah.
Speaking of Miss Katie Arquette, is that somebody you're looking to get into the ring with in 2025?
I would love to wrestle Katie again. I haven't got to wrestle her since my debut. So my debut was kind of a test for me because I left my original school 3 months before my debut because I got hurt. So then I was training before shows with literally anybody I could. We had the match. That was kind of like my physical test to see where I was and what I needed to work on. And then after that is whenever I started training at Rise with Brandon Kay, and now Glenn Spector is one of our head trainers. And then she got hurt, but now she's back. So I'm hoping by the end of the year I'll get to face her again.
Hopefully the stars align then.
Yeah, we are very familiar with some people out of Rise. PB Smooth coming to Rise. Cowpoke Paul, one of the main homies of the Piledriver. We've never got a chance to make it out to a Rise show, but we do know a lot of folks that work out there. We've have been in contact with them. Anybody else you can name off the top of your head you think that you want to, or types of matches maybe? Just getting into this, would you be one to ever want to do like sport maybe type matches, or like is there a certain steel cage ladder match, stipulation match that you'd like to do at some point in your career?
I definitely want to wrestle Katie again. I want to wrestle Raylan, Nurse Micah.
Oh yeah, I love Micah.
I met her at BCW before I debuted, and I was like, I watched her in the ring, and I was like, I want to wrestle her at some point.
She's a beast.
Yeah, Megan Myers.
Yeah, we love Megan.
Yeah, we love Megan Myers.
Who else? I don't think I can name any more off the top of my head. Types of matches. I was so afraid of having a steel cage match. I don't know why, but I was so in my head about it. And I actually kind of just had to get over that fear really quick because in December, I think it was, I went to NCW in Buffalo, New York, and I was going to have a singles match with Pegasa. But she wasn't able to get there. So they're like, we don't really know what we're going to do with you. But they were supposed to have a match with Hollywood Haley J, Zandra Lee, JC Storm, and Masha Slamovich.
Okay.
Oh.
JC's plane got delayed, so she couldn't make it. Haley couldn't make it. Masha was almost there, and we had Zandra. So they were like, Ava, have you ever been in a steel cage before? And I was like, no. And they were like, well, you're going to be today. So that was my first steel cage match, was with Masha and Zandra.
Wow.
And
wild.
Yeah.
I had so much anxiety. And to preface how hard Masha hits, this is the only way I can explain it. The first chop she gave me in that match, literally all the anxiety, like it was like she just hit it out of my body. Like I had a reality check so quick. And that was it was a crazy moment for me because at the end of November, I went up to Big League Pro and I was in a triple threat with Kalina King and Jody Threat. And I was like, so then I'm in the steel cage with Masha and I'm like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
What is going on? So those two matches got me a lot of traction. And I think that has helped my social media presence as to why, because then I started to go to NCW more frequently. And Nick Russo, who's up there, is actually the one who talked to Matt whenever he said, we need someone to take this belt. And now Nick helps me with like everything. So he'll talk, if I haven't dealt with the promoters already and they're out of state, he deals with all of that for me, gets all the information, says, hey, can you do this date? And then I say yes or no. And we go around my home promotions. That way my home promotions aren't getting screwed either. Like Rise, I owe my loyalty to them. I'm literally on every show in some sort of capacity. They treat me so well. And RWA, I'll actually have my first defense for this belt in a triple threat match, which...
That is Renegade Wrestling? Is that Renegade Wrestling Alliance, if I'm correct?
Yes. Yeah, in West Newton.
Yeah.
It's funny to me that I'm in a triple threat, not because of like who I'm with. Super excited for that match, but I think I've had 13 matches so far, so this will be 14 or 15. But I'm pretty sure over half of my matches have been a triple threat or that 4-way match at RSW. So like this is what I know best how to do because this has been most of my career.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what we can put on with that because Tatiana and Lena, I think her name is, they debuted the same time in 2019, and I don't know if they faced each other since then. So it's going to be their first time back in the ring together. And then there's me, and they're coming after me for my belt. And I'm curious to see.
Oh, that's a nice saying name.
Because there's a lot that could happen with it. But I'm hoping that everything goes well. And I think we'll be able to put on a good match because there's a lot of story just wrapped around all of it. Plus, you're adding a belt in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And just, throwing it out there, that is this Saturday. Triple threat match with the unwilting Tatiana, and that's Layla Lennox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is at the House of Renegades, was at 113 South 5th Street, West Newton, PA. So if you're out there in West Newton, PA, around there, grab some tickets. You get to see Miss Ava Brooks in action. In the first defense of the AIWF women's championship. So that's awesome for you, man. Tell us anything else you got going on right now and where other people can see you. Like I said, we do got Renegade Wrestling Alliance this Saturday, but rest of the month in the future, or anything socials you'd like to promote, anything like that?
So all of my socials are official Ava Brooks. I have it so they're not too hard to find. And if you can't find me on a certain app, if you just Google my name, almost all of the socials comes up. So there's not going to be any other. If you just put Ava Brooks Professional Wrestling, all of it will come straight up.
That's what Tony's got it. Tony's a beast with it. Oh.
I'm at my RWA this Saturday.
Beast with it.
And then the following week, I'm at Pit Fight. We're doing a charity show at the Pitt Greensburg College campus.
Oh, that's cool.
And that Sunday, I'll be up in Buffalo, New York. The next Saturday, I will be at PCWA. I'm going to be debuting there. So I'm excited for that. And then I've been talking to Tim. I'm trying to get on this show for RW at the end of the month.
Okay.
Me and Lexus have some storyline ideas that we want to talk to him about.
Got some business to take care of.
So it should.
Ava Brooks trying to carry 2 belts.
I might be there. I'm not sure yet, so I can't confirm. But if I do, I'll obviously post about it. But yeah, and then I have podcasts. I think the rest of the week, the rest of the month, actually. So I'll be posting about those on my socials to see where I'm at, if we're live or not.
What's the one date you have left? You might as well plug that.
Right.
I think
that booked.
I think the 28th, because I have the 25th is pending with one, and then the 28th is the only one that I don't have anybody. I think that a guy's thinking about it, so I'm not really sure. So if any podcasts are listening, I'm sorry, but we're gonna do it in April or May because I can't do it anymore.
It's a good problem to have.
Well,
I think actually the 28th is also that RSW show, so like honestly,
oh yeah,
don't want to get double booked.
Yeah.
I'll be in
like Tony said,
locker room.
Yeah, like Tony said, it's not a bad problem to have. So
Yeah.
We thank you so much for taking some time out talking with us.
Yeah,
We appreciate you. Follow Miss Ava Brooks, official Ava Brooks, on all the socials. Find out where she's going to be next and go check her out. She's an up and coming star, dude. So hopefully we'll see you around soon. Maybe make your way up here towards Ohio shortly.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Thank you again for joining us.
Yep, of course.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Thank
evening.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Ava Brooks. Like we said, follow all of her socials, official Ava Brooks on the gram, Twitter, Facebook, anything
Yep.
you can find, wherever you get your media from. Renegade Wrestling out in West Newton, PA this Saturday, but that is not where we will be. We will be in Parma for RSW, presenting the Ides of March. But before Saturday comes Friday, and NEOPro Wrestling is live once again at a new venue. They got a whole new show concept. There's, I believe, live music this time. There's
Yeah, I saw that.
wrestling. There's a cheeseburger involved. But
Not that kind of cheeseburger, though.
not that kind of cheeseburger. The one that wrestles, not the one you eat.
The guy that's got pants.
But let's get all the correct information. Let's bring in the expert on the subject, our second guest of the evening. Please welcome to the podcast, Peapod.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello,
What's up,
Seth.
man?
How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you?
Pretty
Look how,
good.
look
It
how
is good
nice
to
he
see
looks
you.
and how he sounds, and we sound so awful.
Nah, like
I'm a professional. What can I say?
Peapod's got the professional camera. I got this little camera I got off Amazon. But you can see me. I look good.
Does look good.
Shaved up nice. Peapod, it
You guys
is
look like
good
you'd be
to see
brothers.
you. This weekend coming, are you excited for NEOPro Remix?
Well, first off, Vince said that we could be brothers, and I can see the resemblance. We are both bald gentlemen with nice beards, nice looking very slick. We could be related. Our family tree might have crossed roots or somewhere.
Like
Somewhere
the white
along the
headset,
line.
black headset color swappy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the evil twin, I guess you could say that.
He's got his right. He's the Ivan Ooze. He's the Ivan Ooze. I'm going up.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yes, thank you.
It is great to have you. And like I said, we have NEOPro Remix this weekend. This is a new concept for NEOPro. And you just coming in the last show, I believe, was your first live show as the
my first live show. Yes, I helped with post-production commentary for their last two shows, The Curse of Quaker Hall and Endgame, towards the end of 24. And then because they were in a bind, and obviously Danny, who works as one of the co-promoters for NEOPro, him and Jason, they were looking for another commentary set of teams. I reached out. I was like, hey, happy to do my thing. I've been a professional broadcaster for over 10 years myself. I'm originally from the Akron area, ironically, but I reside in Northwest Ohio, in Toledo to be exact. And I was a radio personality from 2009 to 2021, so about 11 years. And in those 11 years, I was an on-air personality for 7 of them for a local rock station here in the Toledo area. So that's kind of how I got my foot in the broadcasting door. I've always liked music. I've always loved, using my platform to help, spread the word of others. And, I first kind of caught touch a little bit about wrestling because I've always been a wrestling fan myself. And we'll get to the show. I'm just giving a background for your audience first. Yeah. We'll tie it in the end. Don't worry about it. I'd be a little long-winded sometimes. You give me a microphone and a live platform, I'll talk forever. So I did this, and was covering live wrestling and things like that. Just on my show because I was a wrestling fan too. In college, I had like a pro wrestling talk show with me and my best friends and everything. Okay. I've always loved wrestling. And COVID hit. I left the radio industry because I kind of reached a ceiling. And a buddy of mine worked with a local promotion in our area called Ruthless Pro Wrestling. It's a deathmatch company out of the.
They roll with Circle 6 and stuff, correct?
Yeah, they've run with Circle 6. We have a show coming up in Chicago with the company 7. But yeah, they were doing a show, and I met the promoter whose name was Chris, and he's like, hey, you know, a lot of the people connected me with Chris, and they're like, yeah, we you know, I had them even on my radio show to promote their first show that happened in March of 2020, which obviously never happened because that whole song and dance happened to the world. And I they kind of brought me on, and I started with commentary in the deathmatch world, and I did that for a few years, and then last year I was really like kind of trying to like push myself outside of my home promotion, and boy did it snowballed, and now I'm like the voice of like almost like 6 or 7 companies, and
Wow.
NEOPro is one of the newest, and honestly already going to be one of my favorites. I was very impressed with like the professionalism and how they run things, and the look, the feel, the sound, the wrestlers, the talent, everything. And I was just like, I think I can do some good work here, and I'm glad they brought me on, and I'm very honored. And my first in-person show with myself and the guy with the bow tie, Mr. Josh Jonai.
Real quick, let me interject. I'm supposed to ask you. I've already got a message. I don't even.
I'm sure you did.
I don't even know if he's in the chat, but I'm supposed to ask you. How do you feel about Penage?
We're not calling it Penage. We're not calling ourselves Penage. I told him. That's on him. Like we're not Josh. We're not doing this.
Yes, he told me he was going to call.
Thank you, Peapod, for putting this.
Oh wow. It might be too late.
Okay. Your first spot in the Stark County Art Hall. Where you guys were sitting, where we were sitting, that's where we will always be. Just saying, those are our seats. That's where we sit. But we've been fans of NEOPro since the beginning. We have been 100% supporters. Uncle Wilbur he messaged us. I'll never forget the first show. He said, "I know you guys are covering Northeast Ohio wrestling. Come to our show. We're a new promotion starting up. We'd love to have you. This is how much tickets cost. They didn't offer us free tickets or anything of that. But just come check us out. If you don't like us, you never have to come back. We've never missed a show."
They've done some very good work, and like what's really funny is like my very first taste, like when the idea of like busting out of the WWE bubble, the very first taste of independent wrestling I ever got a hold of was Cleveland All Pro Wrestling. That was aired on the local stations when I was in Akron, Copley, Ohio, to be exact, was my hometown.
I was just out in the Barberton area last night.
Yeah, exactly. So these shows in like the Akron Can area, literally my old stomping grounds when I was growing up. But Cleveland All Pro Wrestling was like my very first taste of that independent wrestling, and just was just a beautiful thing. I remember Faith in Nothing. I remember Gregory Iron. I remember Matt Cross, and Pedro was posting stuff about old Cleveland All Pro stuff, and I was just like, man, like.
That's my favorite go-to historian. He's probably one of my favorite friends on Facebook is when Pedro posts his cool shit, because Pedro's been around forever, and he's been in this business for a long, long time, and he's met a lot of cool people and done a lot of cool things. Speaking of Penage, I see Tony clipping it down.
I forgot.
There's Penage right there.
We're not calling ourselves that. We're not. Let's nip that in the butt. Yeah, Josh looks great. He's in a suit, and I give like I'm not a suit guy, so I'm kind of giving substitute art teacher vibes. Was my outfit for the white noise.
I like it, but I was gonna say you had the orange on, the color scheme matched. It looked great. You looked fantastic.
Yeah, that was basically what it is. What we're doing for Vortex, which is this Friday in Akron, we're gonna do a little bit something different with our outfits. I'll give a little spoiler. I a lot of like companies want a more like traditional like suit or like nicer clothes, which I'm all for. I'm absolutely all for. But I'm not a suit guy. But like we're also gonna be at a venue with live music, rock, hip hop, mixed like that. Let's go a little edgy. Let's go a little bit different. So I've convinced Josh to get himself a leather jacket, and I have got myself a kind of a battle vest, a jean vest with pins on it, and stuff like that. And something a little bit different on the at the desk and everything. So
I like it.
Well, I know, unfortunately, I've been selected this week to work second shift, so I will not be able to make the Friday show. Vince may make the Friday show. We don't know if plans are in the works, but we're gonna try our best to be there in some capacity in the Piledriver podcast. I know that we got a big card coming up. I'm upset that again, first show that they'll be at the Vortex. I hate missing NEOPro because then we don't know what when it went down. Ashton Day defending his title against some guy I'm not familiar with at all scares the hell out of me. But the Vortex seems like a cool venue, and this is a sweet new thing that NEOPro's doing. Live music. I know that I've been to a show. What's the name of the venue in Lakewood, Vince?
There's a couple. Are you talking about Mayhalls, or are you talking about
the Beach Room Ball Tavern? Or that's in Cleveland?
Yeah, that's in Cleveland. The one we went to see Circle 6, and then we went to see an AIW show there.
Yeah.
The room was little. The roof's real though. Like, shit. Anyway,
it's coming up. It's not now that's class. I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, I just can't remember the name off the top of my head, but we had a venue there with or a wrestling show there with Circle 6, and they had live bands, and it was just cool. It was a sweet atmosphere, so this show for NEOPro could be awesome. And again, I personally am upset that I have to miss it. Tickets are still available. I do know general admission only. There is no VIP ticket available for this. $25, standing room only.
It's gonna be a fun show to quickly go down to the card. NEOPro Wrestling Champion Ashton Day will be defending it against Shimbashi. He's from the Alberta, Canada area. He's done stuff in also Texas for New Texas Pro and Baracho Pro and Lions Pride, but he also has done something in the Ohio area. A buddy of mine, Unsanctioned Pro, they've had Shimbashi on for the last handful of shows. Very entertaining as well. We have NEOPro tag team titles on the line. Cash Inc. now going to be defending them against members only.
Hey, Calvin and Malcolm, them boys though. Calvin and Malcolm are them boys, and I told them last night. I saw them at OCW last night, and I was like, "What?" They're like, "We'll see you on Friday." And I was like, "Yeah." I forgot that I had to work second shift this week, so I'm excited that I get to see them hopefully dethrone the tag team champions and become the NEOPro tag team champions.
Could be. We have the IW Guide Championship on the line. Mikey Montgomery, he's going to be defending against, as you mentioned before, Cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Cheeseburger a couple months ago, man. He came up to RSW out here in Parma, and he wrestled Cole Johnson, and they put on a great match. So this should be another solid one. We've seen Mikey defend this title. I believe this will be the third or fourth time.
Second time.
Yeah. This will be okay. So yeah, are you sure? I thought he defended it at Quaker, and then he defended it against the bootleg.
He won it at Quaker.
He won it at Quaker. Okay, so yes, okay. So his second defense going in against Cheeseburger here. If anybody can take it, Cheeseburger can take it.
Cheeseburger.
Could be. Could it be? Honestly, we could see a new champion for sure. We have the Great Lakes Summit, the second half of the Great Lakes Summit first round matchups. Hayden Backlund, representing New York and Grapple Pro, will be taking on Zach Hendricks, who's representing Wisconsin and ICW Milwaukee. We have Josh Crane, Danger Josh Crane. I haven't seen Josh Crane in a few years now, and I'm very excited to see him back. Looks great, representing Indiana and Naptown Pro. He's going to be taking on Sabin Gage, who's representing Chicago and Freelance Wrestling. We have women's action going on. Two ladies I'm very familiar with some of the areas in the Michigan area. Stella Buho is going to be taking on Relentless Ray Larson. So both of those gals, fantastic women. Definitely recommend seeing that match. Triple threat action.
Familiar with Stella.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Stella.
I'm not familiar with Stella that much. Ray Larson, I've seen some. Ray Larson came to Mega a while back, and she, since then she's kind of been on my radar a little more. Stella, not familiar with. I saw that she's got an owl of some sorts.
Stella is very fun. About 3 years, just about 3 years in. At one point in time in 2024, she held 5 women's championships for 5 different companies at the same time.
Wow.
She is on her Mercedes Monet shit, so that's cool. Again, I'm a very big judge. If I've never seen you, I judge you off of your promo picture. I judge you what I see on that card they put up,
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
what's his name? Victor Benjamin is a great example. I never got to see him wrestle. I don't know if you're familiar, but I saw his promo picture, and this dude's built like he beat the shit out of you. Like in his promo picture, his abs got abs. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, holy shit! Like he looks like he's going to be a heavyweight champion someday. Stella looks like she's a great time in the ring. Like she looks like she has a fucking lot of fun. So
it's a good showing that any talent, any wrestlers get good promo picks and get them often. I'm not even a wrestler. I have like 7 different versions of my promo pick. Granted, I do one of 3 faces, but still, like you got what you got it. You go to my Instagram. It's just like half the time, it got everything. Get good, great photos and things like that.
Nice flannel. That is a nice flannel.
I kind of pull out flannel very well. It's decent. It can't all be black t-shirts all the time. So,
so I went with pink tonight. My boy Brosby. I had to support the homie.
Absolutely.
No, but I agree 110% as a referee. Just, and I've only been a referee in this business for about a year now. I took new promo picks today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just so I have, in case, hey, you never know. So I agree with that 110%. Because I get people like me, I judge people off their promo picks. If you, perfect example is Jimmy Shane, right? Love Jimmy Shane to death. The first time I ever went to an OCW show, I saw Jimmy Shane on the promo picture, and he had short, buzz cut hair, like a flat top kind of deal. And I was like, oh, all right, he looks like a shoot wrestler, really, like he wrestled in high school. And then Jimmy Shane comes out to the ring. My first time seeing him, my dude's got long hair. He's partying. I'm like, that's not the same guy. Like, so 100% judge on your promo pick and on cards and stuff like that posted.
Absolutely.
Alec in the chat, what's going on? He said, I see great production, great producers and refs and commentary. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Couple more matches for NEOPro this Friday. We got triple threat action. Trevor Outlaw making his NEOPro debut. He's a regular out of the places like Freelance and Black Labor Pro. Trained at the Nightmare Factory, that's owned obviously by Cody Rhodes. Taking on Trey Lamar, who we all know. Trey Lamar on the rise. Very questionable. Yeah, we'll talk about that maybe on the desk. Maybe a little finger waving. Little questionable tactics.
Lamar at the last show.
Correct. To get into the Great Lakes Summit in the finals for NEOPro 3. And of course, obviously, I like to call it like the heart and soul. And he's in the chat right now. Dontavio. One of those kids. Yeah, one of those kids.
That's so good.
That will be doing great stuff in the greater Ohio region as well. And also as a nice treat, Eric Fallen. The Hell Archer comes back to NEOPro.
Yeah,
brother is. He will be in action. We don't know who he's going to be facing, or do you know?
Love it.
I know as much as you guys know, so I don't know. So I you know what my theory is? He's going to fight Josh. I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
I slid him a 20 and a hot dog. I was just like, hey. Take care. I want Ken Vaison on commentary with me.
There you go. There you go. A little bribery action there. And
then we also they just announced
Dontavio's still in the chat. Dontavio's still in the chat. You're gonna have to scroll back and get that clip. Dontavio, all 4 of us. Look at there it is right there.
There it is.
That's a
get it.
So good.
Dontavio's a big homie. We've been following Dontavio for a while.
Big fan of Dontavio. I think he's a good kid. I mean, granted, almost anybody younger than me, I just call kid. Anybody older than me, I just said call kid. I don't know. I'm almost 40. I don't care. I'm just calling everybody children.
Go ahead. We got 1 or 2 more, I believe.
There was a pre-show match that was announced. Zay Garcia of Bax will be in action as well. I did not catch the name right before I jumped in, but they just announced it as well. So you'll have to go check out NEOPro social media for more.
I'm pulling it up right now.
He's looking for it right now.
It is we have Zay Garcia taking on Reese Hayes.
Reese Hayes.
So
Okay.
not familiar, but hey, that's what I love about doing stuff in like NEOPro and other wrestling companies.
Yeah.
Learning a lot more new faces and names and action and everything. And it's just I've done a little bit of everything. I came off of just doing a deathmatch tournament, and then I'll turn around and I'll do traditional wrestling NEOPro. I'm part of a great women's promotion up in Michigan called Divine Pro Wrestling. So
I'm familiar with them from word of mouth from senior rep Tango Jones.
Jones, that man works harder than anybody else I've seen, and the brother had like a busted up back, but he's doing good stuff. But yeah, and I'm just kind of jumping around everywhere and anywhere. Especially I got a passport just recently, so I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So I want to do that internationally, not just like go up to Canada or whatnot. I legitimately would love to do
like
more.
a UK Japan run kind of deal.
Love to.
Yeah,
Opportunity.
No, 100%. Vince and I have been wanting to make our way up into the Northwest a little bit. I know CIW out of Toledo and Phil, they run out of there. Mm-hmm. We've heard some good things about them. As well as there's
we lost him for a little bit.
Oh, he might.
Me and Mike have been trying to get booked through JCW as well. I definitely want to work for Juggalo Championship Wrestling. That's like definitely on the.
Oh, that'd be sick.
They're in the Michigan area as well. I met Danny Moe for the first time at our last. She's the current JCW Women's Champion, and she took on a great match with a young woman named Ricky Morris. Divine, you can check that out from their past show. Called Endless Waltz for you Gundam fans. That's the reference to them. That's where he got the name from. But that show is up on YouTube as well. And a lot of my stuff is on a lot of the companies I work for are on IWTV, and obviously NEOPro's on IndieWrestling.us. So obviously you want to go check them out, and the great promotions are a part of there as well. So yeah. Lots of great action coming up Friday and then this weekend in the greater Ohio area. But obviously indie wrestling in general, throw a rock somewhere. You'll probably hit a promotion, WWE, AEW, and NWA, TNA. They're great. They're all, but like, do you have it in your backyard every day? Do you want to see where a lot of the stars got their start, and a lot of great wrestling, a lot of great men and women who can, and promotions that could use your money and at a fraction of the cost of a ticket to AEW or WWE, and you can support your local, basically town for great entertainment.
Not only that, but you can get to see it. I'm going to use, one of our most recent examples. You can see the stars of tomorrow, like you said. The good one, Pastor CeeLo.
Yep.
You 3 months ago, you catch him on Mega. You catch him all over Northeast Ohio. At the end of the month, you can catch him on NWA.
Yes, sir.
You see the stars of tomorrow. It's a beautiful thing. When we started this podcast years ago, we started WWE. We talked about, but everybody talks about that.
Everybody does.
Wanted to put the spotlight on the people that you can go see in your backyard. The people that are putting it out there. The Ashton Days, the Christian Napiers, the Otis and Atticus Kogers, the killers out there. They're out here destroying the game and making a name for themselves so that they can make it to that next level.
I would argue, and while yes, the term "the stars of tomorrow" is good and fair, but I always like to go just the wrestlers of entertainment of people today that could use your support. No matter what, and I agree with that. They're stars now. They're stars now. Correct. They just become bigger stars on a bigger platform. Then that's what you do when you elevate. So I absolutely agree. I love it. I love independent wrestling. I love wrestling of all sorts. It doesn't matter what the letters are on the top of the card. I care about the action. I care about the people. I care about what is being brought out. And if I can use my skills to help those promotions out, NEOPro, Divine, Ruthless Pro, fantastic leader for wrestling. It's a fun new family-friendly affair out of the Indiana area. I do work out of from the Wisconsin area with We Love Wrestling, which is a mixed bag of stuff. Clash wrestling out of Michigan. It doesn't matter,
Love Clash.
Yeah,
I love Clash. I love Clash. We love Clash. We don't like Studio 86, and they don't like us, and that's fine.
And that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine. But I enjoy all of those promotions, and I'm honored to be a part of, and it's my job as a commentator to help bridge the gap from the story inside of the ring to the story of the people watching at home, and why all these things matter. So it's important for me to do well and use my skills and help other people out and help tell the stories and everything. So it's very exciting to be a wrestling fan right now, and obviously Friday night, NEOPro Wrestling presents Vortex at the Vortex, with Remix Volume 1. So definitely go check it out. And if you're unfamiliar with NEOPro, go check out the social media, learn more. There's some free matches probably on YouTube, then subscribe to indiewrestling.us and see their whole history, because trust me, there's a lot of good wrestling. It's been a wild ride, and it's gonna just get wilder, and I can't wait.
Love it.
No, 100%. Before we get you out of here, Peapod, you were talking about those 3 letters. You said you've been a fan forever. Give me your top 5 favorite wrestlers. I would in no particular order. You don't have to order them. They're in whatever order. They're just out of order. The 5. If you get. You're the Paul Heyman. Put your Survivor Series team together.
Oh God. Do you want me to talk television or independent?
It can be either or. If they're one of your favorite wrestlers.
I can't. Oh goodness. Okay. Living or dead, or it just doesn't matter. All time. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Ultimate Warrior on my arm. Come on.
Fantastic. Roddy Piper. Always my number. Always one of my top favorites. Oh God. Let me see. This is hard. I will say there's two men that I appreciate their work and appreciate their work in and outside of the ring as well. And some of them, they also have like a big effect. It is a messed up list, Joe. That personally have worked out, and I will always be these type of fans. Atticus Cogar and Ricky Shane Page. Both men, I appreciate their wrestling acumen, mind, work in and outside of the ring, production, marketing, everything that I enjoy as a wrestling fan and someone who's in the biz, quote unquote. I appreciate. So both those men, I would say put in there. Let me see who in AEW that I'm really love. Will Ospreay, obviously, just fantastic wrestler all around. And then, man, this is a messed up list. Let's go somebody from Mexico. You know what? Just because of the sheer pop culture sense that he has been in the not Michigan, excuse me, in the Mexican, trails and everything, for Lucha, I would say Blue Demon. Would be a fantastic wrestler. Just you talk about a wrestler that, like, if you talk about like people in wrestling and characters that like transcend the wrestling bubble into modern pulp culture in Mexico, that's for those who are not familiar with that world. Blue Demon is like the John Cena of Mexican wrestling. So to put it in a more worldwide, living or dead, anywhere on everything, those would be my 5.
Hell yeah.
Good 5.
Hell yeah.
Solid
good,
5.
It's a very good 5.
Oh yeah. Alec in the chat said Atticus is extremely underrated. I almost get disappointed when people don't know him.
What's funny is Atticus.
I've loved Atticus and Otis forever.
Oh,
I've been a fan of 440 since it was green, son. Like
Otis, so as an honorable mention, I think Otis is an extreme, and I hate using this term but I think Otis Cogar is a very underrated wrestler, and I just feel like people are now just getting hip to like how well he can hold his own, because he's always like one of those guys that, like, you see him on a card, like, it's not match of the night, but it's a match that people remember. And I think that means more than like whoever's on the top of the card. I feel like Otis doesn't get enough respect by himself, but him and Atticus together are fantastic as a tag team. And Atticus, that man is extremely smart. Yes, it is. He has a very unique look. He maybe, if you see him at shows, he's very aloof. He's kind of out to the side. He's by himself. He's not like shaking hand, kissing babies and things like that, which is fine. I get it. Sometimes, let's be honest, wrestling fans can be a little gross, for lack of a better term.
A little much sometimes.
Little much sometimes. Yes. But I've talked to him and on a professional, personal sense, and I've gotten I've somewhat understood, his mind and his eyes and like his storytelling, and like, I do my job as I go around and like I talk to wrestlers beforehand, going, I have to do my research and go, hey, is there anything I can do? What can I put over? Anything specific you want me to talk about, everything. And this man will sit me down and he will like go over a lot of the stuff for like the next few minutes, miles of like a lot of other people that I would go around and go, hey, is there anything last minute I can put over for you? No. And I'm just like, I think Atticus understands like the psychology of a lot. Not saying everybody does that. I'm not saying there are other people that don't do what Atticus does.
And some people don't.
Correct. Correct.
Again, it's a part of the business. It's
the
a
business.
Part of the marketing. Yeah.
Yes.
You either get it or you don't. And some people get it, some people don't.
I come from a very like media heavy and marketing background.
Right.
So like putting that same essence in a world of like in a lot of corporate structuring and everything like that. So to go into like a world that's like kind of like the Wild Wild West, for lack of a better term, and talk about like how to market yourself and how to put yourself out there and making sure things look updated and graphics and things like that. Like it's those small little things that people don't realize that could make you millions more.
Attention to. That falls
exactly.
On the promo
right.
thing
Right.
I was saying earlier. I'm paying attention to your fucking promo pic, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm looking at it when they put your card out. If I've never heard of you, I've never seen you wrestle, I'm gonna look at your promo pic, and that's my snap judgment is based on that. So if you got a promo pic that's 2 years old because you couldn't bother to take a new one in front of a white wall, and and send it to your promoter, that's on you as a wrestler. Our trainer Brandon Xavier, one of the things he said to me that stuck with me every time is every time we go set for an event, there's a full length mirror. It comes with us. It's $10 at Walmart. And it comes with us to every show, and it gets set up right before you walk out because it's there for you to make sure that you look presentable. Would you buy a ticket to see you?
I agree.
If you wouldn't buy a ticket to see you, why would these people?
Why is it anybody else? Yep.
It's the little things about that, and also just like production on like on promos or anything. Don't do a car promo, put the phone horizontal, or even if you want to cut something vertically, make sure everything is within the boundaries. Like study up a little bit about like social media, graphic sizes, things like that. It's just like it's the small things that people don't pay attention to, but could also bring you ahead in the crowd more than others. So get a decent, webcam, get a decent microphone, get a decent USB microphone that plugs into your phone, so better sound coming out, like things like that.
Sure.
Just
100%.
Little things.
With these days, you can get that stuff on Temu at $3. Like,
exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. And like it's some of the things. So like there's a lot of like people that and also just like promotion stuff. I make fun of in private like bad posters that are put out. I make fun of them. I'm just like wrestlers being all stressed out or whatever, and like I'm learning graphic design myself on the side. The photo that you showed earlier that presented like myself and like my booking, like basically my book me graphic, I made myself. So it's just like I made that, and I took reference to a lot of people and everything. So it looks pretty solid. I'm not saying it's run home 100% like the best graphic you've seen in the world. I'm sure there's things I could still improve myself, but it's just some of those things to learn more.
Process, a learning,
exactly.
Progress. You learn as you go. I do the same stuff with like editing pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like I'm
Oh, yeah.
never gonna be a wrestler. I'm not going to be working, in the ring. And I know like there's a lot more, stuff to go into that one when it comes to like look and workout and character and move set and everything. There's a lot there, so I can concentrate more on the things that people don't necessarily know about. Better marketing, better social media presence, better sound on commentary, better production, things like that end, because that can take a company from being an okay, fun, somewhat popular to the next a contender for
hot
something.
indie promotion.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
I agree with you 110%, Peapod.
Mhm. So it's just it's great to be here. It's great to do stuff. It's great to connect with people like you guys, and everybody is doing it. It's just wrestling is a fun, wacky, crazy, just enjoyable world. Ups and downs, all of it. It is something special that I feel like not any other sports can provide.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Again,
Yeah,
very
very
I
neat
agree
community.
with 120%, man. This business is something crazy. It's something else. It's a world that you never know that you would love so much that you're not prepared for.
Absolutely.
So, but I do want to thank you so much, man, for taking some time out of your night to join us and talk some shit. If you do want to find Peapod, you can find, get a hold of him on all of his social medias. Do you want to shout that out for me, Peapod?
It's right there. It's on Facebook. It's on all the major platforms. It's at Peapod Calls, the number 4 and the letter U. And also, if you're interested in booking inquiries, peapodcallsforyou@gmail.com. There you go. It's make it very, very easy, very simple. See the marketing mind.
I have
bada
seen
bing.
Peapod multiple times do the thing live at Ruthless Championship Wrestling out in Avon with RSP, and now at NEOPro. So, like he said, if you need a good commentator, if you need somebody to call that action for you, go ahead. The social's right there, and give my man Peapod a shot. Thank you so much for joining us, bro. We definitely appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Hopefully one of us will be making it out, and if not, we will see you at the next NEOPro show, which I believe is in April.
It is in April. I will be in NEOPro in April there will be it will be there's Triple Extreme in April. I unfortunately will not be at that one because I already have a booking with Divine Pro. But upcoming calendar is I have NEOPro this Friday, March 22nd. I have Ruthless Pro in 7 in Berwyn, Illinois. I have a Fantastic League of Wrestling out of LaPorte, Indiana on April 5th. April 12th, while it is the same day as, unfortunately, I will miss it in person, NEOPro Triple Extreme. I will be up in Divine Pro Wrestling up in Michigan for their show called the Sapphire Series. I will be at NEOPro, back in NEOPro on May 10th for NEOPro 3, though, for sure. And then more shows coming up. And again, Peapod Calls for you. That's where you can find me. And obviously, check me out on NEOPro Friday for Remix Volume 1.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Peapod. Thank you, sir. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Have a good one, bud.
Good night, sir.
And that was Peapod. Like he said, check him out on all the social medias at Peapod Calls, the number 4, the letter U. And if you're interested in booking him, give him a shout at gmail.com. Same name. Good night, boys. Let's talk RSW real quick. Let's talk about some of these matches. Go over the card. I gotta pull them up. I didn't send it to Tony. That's my fault. So
no, I don't have it pulled up.
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone real quick here. It is the Ides of March. It is the show. RSW returns to Parma. Bell time, I believe, is at 6. I could be 7, actually.
Bell time 7, door 6.
Time is at 6. I apologize.
Yep. American Legion 703.
American Legion 703. Yes, 7667 York Road. Let's start off. We got an open challenge being issued by Mr. Entertainment. March 15th. It's this Saturday.
March 15th.
Scott's in the chat. Big boss man.
Scott.
Open challenge by JD Smooth. Who do we think's answering this, boys?
Could be anybody. Everyone
It could
really
be
hates
anybody.
JD.
Everybody
I mean, I
hates him.
honestly have
Right.
some problems with him right now. So let's run his mouth.
So
We
I mean, you
only
could run out
see.
there, honestly, if you get first shot, man.
Yeah, that's true. 100%. You hop in that ring, it could be you, buddy. The tag team titles will be on the line as the Feisty Boys go against the Wicked.
Yep.
The last time we saw the Wicked, they put a hurting. So, I'm really excited for this one. We get a debut, boys. We get a debut in RSW, and it's pretty tough in a tag team match. We'll be going against Norm and Vito Mozzarella, the team of Bear City Vice. Bear
Let's
City
go.
Vice is making their presence known all over Ohio.
Yeah, they're making the rounds.
This match.
Better watch out though. They're looking for the good stuff.
This match right here.
They're trying to
this is
find
gonna
the
be
good stuff.
I think they found it. That dude, that dead guy number 4 had it. He had it. He had a little bit of it. This match could steal the show. Big Nasty Vinny Maverick versus Violent Bates Desmond.
Yes.
What?
I'm all
It's gonna
about
be
this.
wild.
That match could steal the show.
Oh man.
Going against the Golden Boys trying to make their way back to the tag team titles after losing their rematch, losing to the Feisty Boys. Feisty Boys reigning supreme. Matthew Taylor will be defending his RSW Internet Championship against the current boogeyman of RSW and current every champ, Theo Strong.
That's
We get
gonna be a banger too.
The Fire Ass 4-Way, which RSW be killing it with these Fire Ass 4-Ways, bro, if we're being honest. Remy LeVay versus Corey Sparks versus Logan Taylor versus Marcus Rucker.
Nice.
2 out of 4, I know. The other 2, I don't.
Kurt, you were correct.
We get an RSW Women's Championship match as Lexis Sin puts her title on the line against the shooting star, Mars Cress.
Oh hell yeah! I'm that.
I'm about this also.
So Mars getting a title shot there, and then I'm pretty sure this will be co-main event. I won't even, because the RSW Internet Championship's on the line, not the heavyweight championship. So I'm going to go ahead and call this match the co-main event. The number 1 contendership for the RSW Heavyweight Championship is on the line as the Mega God goes one-on-one with the Southern Sinner, Chris Onyx versus Colt Johnson. This one's going to be a banger as well. The winner.
Hard hater, man.
Theo Strong, bro.
Yeah.
So you can bet Theo Strong will be paying very close attention to this match. Onyx has been on a tear. Colt's been on a tear, defeating the likes of Cheeseburger. Onyx at the last show, defeating King Brasa.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
This is a toss-up. So, make sure you get your tickets. You can get a hold of any one of us for tickets if you still need some tickets. RSW at the American Legion this Saturday.
15th.
I'm excited for the show. Catch all of us in action. We'll hang out. We'll be hanging out live RSW. So
we'll be doing something.
Big show this weekend. NEOPro on Friday. RSW on Saturday, and then you can catch us right back here next Sunday at 8 p.m. for all the recap of all the action, everything that went down. Can't wait. Boys, anything else for the Piledriver faithful?
I got nothing.
I got
I'm
nothing
gonna watch
either.
me some AEW. I'm gonna catch
Have fun watching Dynamite. I am going to be hanging out because I have to work second shift tomorrow.
Oh, I gotta get up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, I wish that I was getting up at 5 a.m. to go to my normal shift, but sadly I have to work the normal, 18-year-old man shift. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks to all the likes, comments, shares. We appreciate you all so much. Hopefully, we will see you at a show this weekend. Alex in the chat, when is PPW's next show? The Red Brand is the 23rd of this month. Scott in the chat said Vinny will be making his announcing debut. Okay, Stabby Vince. And Joe Cross, like I just said, March 23rd, Alec, PPW Red. So we will be having the dates for PPW Black and Red in the month of April, coming shortly. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope to see you at a show this weekend. Peace.
Later.